Welcome back, art students. For this week, we are doing value part 11. No, value part 2. Last week, you guys had to create a bunch of value scales. And this week, you're going to be putting the skills that you learned last week into practice. So we talked about the elements of art. I had you guys watch this video last week. If you have not watched it, then please watch it this week. Or I recommend that you watch it again because it's going to give you a lot of really good information, and it's going to show you a lot about how value is important to an artwork. Now, last week I showed you that the elements of art, line, shape, form, space, value, color, and texture. We've got all these. I think I showed you this, maybe not. But anyway, value this week, as you can see, is represented by this. So you can see the dark, the mediums, and the light values here. Value is created by the lightness or darkness of a color. And we've got, these are the vocabulary words that we had last week. Value scale, which is what you made. Gradation, also gradation scale, is what you made last week. You made those things by changing the pressure and by transitioning really well. Now, for this week, what you're going to do is you're going to get a piece of sketchbook paper, or it says unlined paper, but if all you have is lined notebook paper, that is going to work out just fine. Now, after you get your piece of paper, you want to get a straight edge. Now, if you don't have a ruler, you can use anything that has an edge that's straight. A book, your iPad, a CD case. You guys may not know what CDs are. A DVD case. Anything that has a straight edge. And what you want to do is you want to draw a square as large as it will fit on your paper. So I know that your papers are rectangular. That's just, it's 8.5 by 11. But I want you guys to draw a square as best you can. Try and make it as big as your paper will let you and still make a square. So don't make an EB tiny square on your paper. That is going to do you no favors later on. So make sure that you can draw your square as big as possible. The next thing that you want to do is you want to divide your square into 9 equal sections, and you want to try and make sure that your lines are as straight as they can be. So by 9 equal sections, you can see here this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are the 9 equal sections. What you're going to do is you're going to take your straight edge and you're going to just go ahead and draw a line from top to bottom and do a second one, and then do one side to side and a second one side to side. Do your best. If you don't have a ruler, just eyeball it. If they're slightly off, that's okay. I'm not going to take points off for that, but I want you to try and do your best and make sure that you use a straight edge. I don't want to see a bunch of wobbly lines all over the place. The next step then, it looks complicated, but I promise you it's not. What you're going to do is you're going to make 2 lines in each of your smaller squares. They can be curved, oblique, vertical, horizontal, wavy, or straight. All right. Now, what that means is, like, here is one of my 9 sections here. I would draw a line like this, and I draw a line like that. All right. And this one, they drew a line straight up and down, and then they drew a line over here. All right, this one, I know this one's kind of complicated, but we've got, we'll try this one. They've got a curved one here and a straight one here. So you're just drawing 2 lines, 2 lines in each section. And what that's going to do then is it's going to give you 3 sections inside of each square. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's all that you want. Don't make it too complicated. Make it simple. This is now what your paper should kind of look like. You want a square with 9 smaller squares inside, and you want each one of those smaller squares to have 2 lines in it. All right, now the next thing that you're going to do is you are going to color this. Now, you want to use colored pencils. If you don't have colored pencils, you can use crayons. Markers are not going to work on this. And if you do not have colored pencils or crayons, you can do this with a pencil, and a pencil will be fine as well. It's obviously not going to be as colorful, but it will still work. So you just want to get 3 colors of colored pencils or 3 crayon colors. Or if you don't have either of those, then you can use a pencil. Now, I'm going to go ahead and stop it right here, because in the next video, then I'll explain exactly what you're going to do and the do's and don'ts of how you're going to be coloring your project. So click on part 2 for the rest of this lesson.